State Senator Judy Schwank, and welcome to our little workshop today where we're going to show you how to fill your herb box. I am a big patron of the Reading Public Library, and I love to read, but you know what else I like to do is to garden as well. So my friend and our librarian, Jess Royer, asked me to come in and show you how to plant an herb box. So that's what we're going to do. Jess, you're going to help me do it, right?
Yeah, so some of you may have your herb box from the last month's project. If you don't, let us know and we'll find something for you to put your herbs in. We're going to be doing the basil today. We're going to be talking a little bit about the whole idea of mind, body, spirit. If you need help with anything, we have books in the library. These are just two of the ones we have. We have a lot of resources about container gardening and gardening in the city. This one is the City Gardener's Handbook, so it talks about how best to make use of your space, whatever it is. But we have a state senator who's also the founder of the Penn State Berks Master Gardener Program, so eminently overqualified to teach us how to put soil in the boxes, not dirt. I've already learned today not to call it dirt, and we're going to hear more about why in a little bit. But we're excited, so follow along. If you have any questions, feel free to call the reference desk at 610-655-6355, and we'll be glad to help out. This does count as an activity, so if you're following along with your bingo cards or in the Read Squared app, definitely check this off to continue working towards those level prizes, to be entered into the monthly drawing, and then the overall grand prize at the end of the summer. So with that, you at home following along should have the box if you've made it. If not, let us know. You can come in and get some gloves, a little trowel, your basil plants, and the potting mix. So all of that will be available. Just come on to the reference desk and we'll go from there.
You couldn't make it any easier, Jess, but I've got to go back to the soil part because that's where we're going to start. Well, actually, I hope when you made your box, you put drainage holes in the bottom.
Which we didn't talk about. So if you need a drill, come into the library and we can drill it for you because we didn't give you out drills in the last pack. But yes, you should put drainage holes in the bottom.
Right. This box may not be watertight, but herbs generally don't like wet feet. So we want to make sure that the water, when you water it well, can drain through. Okay? So, Jess mentioned something that just a pet peeve for me, and that's the issue of calling soil dirt. Here's the difference, and I learned this many years ago from, really, really accomplished gardeners, Jess. Dirt is what you sweep off the floor. Dirt is what you see outside, not in your garden. Not soil is a living organism, and it's so important, really it is, because this is how we sustain life on earth, through soil, having healthy soil, soil with lots of organic matter, and soil that will grow good plants, and that's what you got here.
That got deep, literally.
I love that. So we're going to open this up. Be careful with that. In a few minutes, I'm going to explain to you too about some of the herbs, other herbs that you can grow in your box as well. When I make my boxes or pots, as I do it at home, I like to mix 3 or 4 different kinds of herbs all together, and it's almost like a mini kitchen garden. So when I want to go outside and, if I'm going to cook something, I can just run outside with my kitchen shears, snip off what I need, and run back in. And that's true. It's really what I do. All right. So let's put some soil in here. This looks like you got some good stuff here, Jesse.
That's right.
Sometimes you'll buy potting mixes that are not pre-moistened. This one is. Notice I didn't put on my gloves. But you can if you want to. We're going to put enough in there and level it out a little bit so that we can put our pots of basil in there. Do you like pesto? Pesto is made with basil, right? It is one of the, quintessential summer recipes for a lot of people because basil is so easy to grow, and it's a seasoning, a sauce that you can put on vegetables, on meats, fish, on salads, great in pasta. So you've heard of pesto before, but this is the start of it. So here's what I've got in.
I think I put in too much.
You might have put a little bit too much in.
I got excited.
And Jess went to the nursery, garden center, you know, or Lowe's or someplace like that, and picked up some really nice, healthy looking basil plants. These do look good. I would suggest to you, before you put them in your planter, water them first, so that the soil ball doesn't fall away from the roots when you put it into the planter. Make sense?
It does, yep.
All right, so we'll take the label out. We don't need that for the moment. And what I like to do is take my hand, wrap my fingers around the plant, the stems, gently. We don't want to squeeze it to death, right? Because you really could. And then I'll squeeze the sides of the pot a little bit so that I can loosen up that root ball, turn it upside down, and voila. I've got it with the root ball. Looks like you've got a nice healthy root system there on that one, Jess.
Do the roots need to be spread out at all?
You know, this isn't that pot bound, but sometimes what I'll do is just take my finger and thumb and gently press it apart at the bottom a little bit. If you do too much, it's going to fall all over the place. Then I'm going to place it right into my planter, and I want to make sure that when I get it in my planter, it's about 1 inch below the top of the planter, so I have room to put water in, to water it. All right, let's get our second plant. I don't think we're going to need to use more than 2 in here, because basil can get rather tall, but you're going to be harvesting it a lot, so you'll keep it at a manageable level. Remember, turning it upside down. You've done this before. Now this one has a little more roots than the last one I had, so I'll pull away a little bit more on the bottom. Put that in. How do they look in terms of spacing?
They look good, and I did do a little bit of research beforehand to make sure the boxes that we built were sufficient for 2. Might be a little bit small by some people's standards, but that it should work for 2. And these basil plants should live for weeks or months, ideally.
Well, they'll certainly live until the frost. Basil is very sensitive to cold temperatures. You know, I love to have it in late August and September, and sometimes when the nights get cold, the leaves will literally get black. It's that sensitive to cold temperatures. So use it. Use it now when tomatoes come in and some of your other vegetables. Cook with this stuff. It's great. All right, then we're going to fill in with some soil, not dirt, around our plants. And making sure to firm it in. I'm a hands-on gardener, and I make a little bit of a mess.
I'm coming there too. Just put the shovel down.
Just faster. Try to squeeze that soil in there in all those spaces, because you want to make sure that the roots have a place to grow. This soil needs to be broken up just a little bit as we put it in, Jess. A little bit lumpy, but you know, it depends on the potting soil that you get. Keep firming that in as you go. Few leaves drop off, that's okay. It's not hard, is it? And many of you I know are experienced gardeners thinking, oh, they could have done it this way or that way. Every gardener has their own way, right? It's taking a lot of soil, isn't it?
Yeah, filling in.
So what do you think our next step is after we firm all that soil in, clean off the edges?
Probably water it. but
Water it.
I don't have any water here.
No, we'll have to take this up to a sink or outside to get it watered. Here's what I'd suggest for you. Grow this outside if you can, rather than growing it inside, because it takes a lot of sunlight to really grow basil well. But if you've got a real sunny window or a balcony or, you know, just a step outside your home, you could put this on here as well.
Now, I do have 3 holes in each of these. Can you overwater them with drainage?
No, if it's got drainage, what you want to do is always feel the top of the soil. If it feels dry like it does right now, then water it, and water it until the water runs out of your drainage holes at the bottom, Jess. And then don't water it again until it feels dry on the top.
Okay.
Basil doesn't like to be too wet.
So that's why the drainage holes are key.
They really are
So
important.
I'll repeat, if you don't have a drill at home, come on in and we'll get your box taken care of. We'll drill some holes for you.
So there we have our basil planters. Really easy, and you'll enjoy it a lot. I know that you will. And I wanted to show you some of the things that I grow in my garden that you could also put in your box. Now the flowers are just there for decoration, but you can see I've got some basil in there. I've got some mint. Smell that.
And the mint has a square stem.
Yes, it does. Some of them have dark purple stems. Some of them are light. There are many different varieties of mint. That's a spearmint.
Yeah.
That particular one. This is
Dill?
Dill.
No?
Love dill, and dill is so easy to grow. Another one that I like a lot is thyme. I use that, and I even overwinter this one in my pots on my steps, and it's
Outside?
great. Yeah, outside.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, you can cook with any of these fresh, but you can dry them too.
You can, yeah, if you have excess, you can absolutely dry them. You can just air dry them. You don't have to put them in the oven or
Yeah.
anything. I would suggest that you strip the leaves off
Okay.
so that you can dry them. And this is rosemary. So we've got the rosemary and the thyme. The only thing I don't have here is the sage.
Yeah, right.
Right? But this is very easy to dry too. And this is a great culinary herb as well.
Good in potatoes.
Right. And another one that maybe people don't see a lot, but I love, is tarragon.
Mm.
Smell that one. Kind of like licorice,
Yeah, okay.
right?
I'm getting a little bit of
Little
everything now,
and
but
yeah, you're getting overload, sensory overload.
It does smell good.
Yeah, it's good
I
stuff.
don't cook with tarragon, I don't think.
You
I don't
need-
think I do.
You need to try
I
it.
should.
And then the final one I wanted to show you is lemon balm. And this I don't use so much for cooking, although you can, but I like to put it in flower arrangements because it smells good and
Mm.
lemony.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
It's fresh.
Many of these you start not so much from seeds, but actually from plants, like we did here today. But you can have lots of fun growing herbs, and I think it's great that the library is doing this and that I could be a part of it.
Well, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Jess.
And we hope everybody following along at home has success with their basil or whatever herbs they choose to put in it. Like I said, feel free to call the reference desk if you have questions about the program. Check out Penn State Berks,
Master Gardeners.
yeah, and the extension has a lot of helpful resources. If you ever have gardening or agricultural questions, I've used them personally myself as well. So, yeah, thank you for coming today, Senator Schwank.
Happy to.
Thank you for following along, everybody at home, and we'll see you next time.